Kyle Richards sheds tears after Mauricio Umansky moves out in RHOBH premiere. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 14 is finally here, and viewers will see a different side of Kyle Richards. The OG is used to having a full house with her daughters, her husband, Mauricio Umansky, and their dogs, but that has changed. A teaser for the premiere episode shows Kyle in tears after Mauricio finally moves out of the home they once shared. The couple's 28-year-old daughter, Alexia Umansky, has also left the family home, and the mom of four is feeling lonelier than ever. RHOBH fans, who continue to blame Kyle for her marriage's breakdown, do not show much sympathy for the OG. After the teaser was shared, people took to the comments to voice their opinions, bringing up her alleged romance with Morgan Wade. RHOBH Season 14 premiere shows Kyle Richards in tears after Mauricio Umansky moves out. A sneak peek of the RHOBH premiere shows Kyle and her daughter Portia attempting to move a couch, and that's when she becomes very aware of Mauricio's absence. Mo moved out about a week or two ago. Alexia also moved out, shares the 55-year-old in her first Season 14 confessional. Having both of them move out back-to-back was very difficult, to say the least. Kyle notes that Mauricio did everything around the house, and she doesn't know how to turn on the TV properly, play music, or heat the pool. Now that Alexia and Mauricio are gone, Kyle lives in the large Beverly Hills home with her two youngest daughters, 24-year-old Sophia and 16-year-old Portia. Sometimes when Sophia's out, and it's just Portia and me, it's really quiet, and I realize it's going to be like that a lot, admits Kyle as she starts to get emotional. This is not what I expected my life to be, she continues, wiping away tears. RHOBH viewers react to Kyle's emotional moment. After the clip was posted on Instagram, RHOBH fans bashed Kyle in the comments. It's her fault her marriage is over. She wanted to run around and do whatever and not try to fix it, reasoned a commenter. No shade, but what was she expecting when she went and paraded Morgan around getting matching tats and kissing in videos? Questioned someone else. An Instagram user exclaimed, "She wanted to play with women, but she crying for now." Someone said, "I feel bad for Portia, not Kyle, but I can understand why Kyle wants her family together under one roof." The glittering skyline of Beverly Hills shimmered in the background as Kyle Richards sat in her sprawling home, the echoes of laughter and love now replaced with a somber silence. The grand chandeliers still sparkled, and the pristine marble floors reflected her image as she stood motionless, her thoughts swirling like an unrelenting storm. The premiere of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was meant to be another chapter in the saga of extravagant parties, high fashion, and luxurious getaways. But this time, the spotlight wasn't on opulence, it was on heartbreak. As the cameras rolled, Kyle found herself struggling to keep the flood of emotions at bay. Mauricio Umansky, her husband of nearly 3 decades, had moved out. The realization hit like a tidal wave, washing over her in relentless waves of sorrow, confusion, and nostalgia. The walls of their home, once a sanctuary of warmth and security, felt cavernous, echoing with memories of a love that had been both celebrated and scrutinized by the world. Tears welled up in her eyes as she reached for her phone, scrolling through old photos, snapshots of vacations, family dinners, birthdays, and stolen moments of laughter. Their love story had unfolded in front of millions, and now so did its unraveling. The cameras had captured their lavish celebrations, their affectionate glances, and the way Mauricio's arm would always find its way around her waist. Now they captured the void. Kyle wiped away a tear as she sat on the couch, adjusting the diamond bracelet that Mauricio had once given her during happier times. She had always been the strong one, the glue that held everything together. But in this moment, strength felt like an illusion. The headlines had speculated for months, whispers growing louder with every public appearance that lacked the once effortless display of affection between them. Yet no tabloid could capture the depth of pain that now consumed her. The doorbell rang, and she inhaled sharply, composing herself before opening the door. Her best friend, Dorrit Kemsley, stood there, her expression a mixture of concern and empathy. Without a word, Dorrit pulled Kyle into a tight embrace, allowing her to release the sob she had been holding back. The weight of reality settled in. Mauricio was gone, and life as she knew it had changed forever. As the evening unfolded, the women of RHOBH gathered in Kyle's living room, their usual lively chatter subdued by the heaviness of the moment. Lisa Rinna, Erica Jane, and Garcelle Beauvais sat in somber solidarity, each knowing too well the pain of love lost and the struggles of navigating life in the public eye. Kyle dabbed at her eyes, trying to regain her composure. I don't know how to do this," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Lisa reached for her hand, her usual sharp wit softened by the moment. "One day at a time, babe. That's all you can do." Erica, who had weathered her own highly publicized breakup, nodded in agreement. "It's going to hurt, and it's going to suck. But you will come out the other side. You always do." Kyle offered a weak smile, appreciating the support, but knowing that this journey was hers alone. The life she had built with Mauricio was more than just a marriage. It was a partnership, a foundation upon which they had raised their daughters and created a world of love and stability. And now that world felt unsteady, like an elegant house of cards teetering on the edge of collapse. As the evening stretched on, the conversation turned to the future. The women encouraged her to focus on herself, to rediscover who she was outside of being a wife and mother. "This is your time," Garcelle said gently, "to heal, to grow, to find happiness on your own terms." Kyle nodded, letting the words sink in. Maybe this was a new beginning, even if it didn't feel like it just yet. She had weathered storms before, family feuds, friendships fractured, and public scrutiny. This, too, would be a chapter in her story, albeit a painful one. As the camera zoomed in on her tear-streaked face, Kyle made a silent vow to herself. She would grieve, she would cry, and she would allow herself to feel every bit of the heartache. But she would also rise, because at the end of the day, she was Kyle Richards, resilient, fierce, and unbreakable. And so, with the world watching, she wiped her tears, took a deep breath, and stepped into the unknown. The lights of Beverly Hills shimmered like diamonds against the velvet night sky, but for Kyle Richards, they may as well have been distant stars, cold and indifferent to the unraveling of her world. The premiere of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was supposed to be a celebration, a fresh season, a fresh start. But as the cameras rolled, capturing every nuance of her expressive face, the reality of her new life settled in. Mauricio Umansky, her husband of more than 2 decades, had moved out, and she was left standing in the cavernous silence of their once bustling home, the echo of his absence louder than any argument they'd ever had. It had been a long time coming. The whispers of tension had rippled through their circle of friends, creeping into the tabloids and sparking endless speculation. At first, Kyle had brushed it off, attributing their strain to the pressures of life, careers, kids, the constant scrutiny of the public eye. But as the months passed, the distance between them had become more than just emotional. It had become physical, tangible. And now, with the premiere unveiling the stark truth to the world, she could no longer deny it. As she sat in her confessional, the weight of the moment crashed over her like a wave. Her dark eyes, usually alight with mischief and strength, brimmed with tears. She struggled to find the words. "It's just surreal," she finally whispered, her voice catching in her throat. "I never thought we'd be here."